Well met.
It's good to see that Captain Vims is finally assigning others to this investigation. I've used a reflective powder to dust the area. It will reveal suspicious objects and markings, helping you to focus your efforts. Look over anything the dust illuminates.
For the Alliance.
An iron shield, blackened by the fire that raged through the inn, is affixed to the crumbling chimney, one of the few remaining parts of the structure that once made Utgard Pinnacle the Shady Rest Inn. The shield can be removed from the brick of the chimney.
A glint of light on the ground catches your eye from underneath the rubble. Brushing away debris and ash caked onto the object reveals the insignia of a gold anchor on white enameled on the surface, the sign of Thrymor. Underneath the anchor is embossed the name Lieutenant Pavel Reeve. Rows of hoofprints lead away from the still smoking skeleton of the Shady Rest Inn. There are at least a few visible impressions, with more rows of prints almost imperceptible in the soft mud of the marsh. Mysterious hoofprints, scorched shields, stray badges. How do we make sense of all this?
If you need to speak with Apprentice Gorion, you'll find him inside the cottage with Tabitha. At least there, he can't steal all the reagents. The Grim Totems Utgard Pinnacle at Dire Hornpost, just to the north, are getting bolder by the day. At night, you can often hear them chanting about their deeds in battle against people who've tried to settle here. They're determined to drive us from Tabitha's farm even though she's trained generations of apprentices here. We've defended the farm as best we can, but Apprentice Gorion was wounded in the last attack. Go to Dire Hornpost and kill any Grim Totem you can find. The attacks must stop. If you need to speak with Apprentice Gorion, you'll find him inside the cottage with Tabitha. At least there, not long ago, a goblin zeppelin crashed to the east. A representative of the Steamweedle cartel passed through here a few days ago. She was looking for information about the zeppelin's cargo and its pilot, Beazle, but none of us really got a good look at the crash. I doubt she'll be able to clean Utgard Pinnacle after the wreck by herself, much less recover whatever cargo the vessel might have carried. If you have time, you may want to check Utgard Pinnacle on her out at Beazle's wreck, due east of here, near the mountains.
See you around.
What are you looking for? See you around. Need help?
Your errand must mean much, warrior, to draw you so deep into the marsh. It's good of their Amor to send someone. Your guard friend's suspicions were correct. We've got some new neighbors, and they aren't the kind you'd bring a casserole.
I wonder. Now, where is it? Stupid mags. Always using the last of a reagent and never replacing it.
When that goblin. What's her name? Boxy, Foxy. Moxie, that's it. Anyway, when she came through here on her way to the Zeppelin wreck, she said the town of Mudsprocket was having some problems. That crashed Zeppelin was bringing them fresh supplies. If you follow the road south from here, past the stone mall ruins, you'll eventually come to Mudsprocket. Why don't you check in with Drazit Drip Valve down there and see if there's anything you can do to help?
Farewell.
Good day to you. Hello.
I wish we had a priest or a druid out here. I can't continue my studies until I've recovered from my injuries. During the last Grim Totem attack, I was wounded, but not before I managed to capture a curious totem our enemies were using against us. It seemed to be emitting raw bolts of energy during the battle, but in all my experiments, I haven't managed to figure out how it works. I'll loan the totem to you if you agree to help me test it. The watery areas surrounding the farm are home to pesky mottled drywallow crocolisks and drywallow dagger moths. Try fighting the crocolisks near the totem. I wish we had a priest or a druid out here. I can't continue my studies until I've recovered from my injuries. If there's one thing you can count on Apprentice Moreland to do, it's whine about reagents. Normally, I just ignore him, and it never works. This time, I'm going to try something different. Maybe if I replace the missing reagents before he notices, he'll leave me alone. The most common reagent we both use is marsh venom, which comes from the dark fang creepers and noxious shredders in the marsh north of the farm. If you bring me the venom, I'll replace it before Moreland notices it's gone.
Have a good one.
Use the captured totem to set it on the ground, and kill 10 mottled Dustwallow Crocolisks or Dustwallow Dagamores near it to test its effects.
something?
I wish we had a priest or a druid out here. I can't continue my studies until I've recovered from my injuries. Have you had any luck testing the totem? The apprentice listens as you describe your experiment. A haze and some lightning? That's it? There's got to be more to the totem than just that. The Grim Totems aren't likely to bring something like this to the battlefield unless it has some kind of utility. Did you get that venom? Morland's going to discover that it's gone any moment now. Apprentice Gorion inspects the venom. This is absolutely perfect. He'll never know the difference.
See you later. What can I do for you?
Apprentice Morland nods. Good. Can't say I'll miss the company, if you can call it that. You'd think at least in the middle of the swamp you'd get some privacy, you know?
See you around. Talk to me.
Travelers and Steamweedle personnel working in the field are advised to avoid the Bloodfen Burrow to the west of town. The area is overrun with raptors led by the cruel and cunning Boreklaw the Ravenous, who has already killed at least 2 Steamweedle engineers. Dratsit Drip Valve has authorized a generous reward to be paid to the individual who rids Mudsprocket of this menace. I don't think Dratsit's going to have any luck finding anyone to kill this raptor. I mean, he's already raised the reward twice.
I got what you need.
It's good of Tabitha to send you down here. I'd prevail upon her for some food until the wreckage from the Zeppelin is taken care of, but I know she's got none to spare at the moment. If you're feeling adventurous, I posted a bounty for the death of a particularly nasty raptor. Mockig. So Theramore is interested in doing business? Well, that's not an offer I'd turn down. Supplies are pretty scarce here right now, so we need all the business contacts we can get.
Glad I could help. Hey,
With the Zeppelin crash delaying supplies, we've run out of medicines and bandages. We're making use of what we can, but between all the insects, the injuries, and the enemies we're encountering here, I can barely keep Utgard Pinnacle. I've found one herb that seems to help heal wounds and dull pain, but it, too, is in short supply. It's called Wormtail, and it's abundant in the Dragonmerc and Wormbog areas east of town. The plants themselves are made of coiled stalks, and seem to pulsate when you look at them.
good.
We are staging a relief effort at New Thalanar for all of 1,000 Needles. The Goblin, Dislix Silvergrub, will lend you my hippogriff to safely get you there. Speak with Carathea Moonhunter when you land. You must go quickly if lives are to be saved.
Good luck.
I thought we talked about this, Brogue. You can't stay in this building. Sure, it can house you, but there's no room for anyone else. You said Brogue could stay here. You promised Brogue you'd help regain Stonemall Clan Mound. Yes, we said you can stay here, but this building is our headquarters. All of our manuals and blueprints are stored here. But this the only building that fit Brogue. Goblins make buildings too small. I'm inclined to say they made ogres too big. I can see I'm not going to convince you to move now, but don't think this is permanent.
Are you startled by Brogue's presence here, little night elf? Don't worry. Goblins at Mudsprocket are Brogue's friends and you can be, too. Brogue left Brackenwall village when new overlord not take revenge against Black Dragon Keen for destroying old home and killing many of Brogue's old friends. Brogue come here to lay friends' spirits to rest and avenge them, but Brogue need help preparing. For ritual, Brogue need feathers with strong magic, like ones worn by raptors at Bloodfen Burrow to the west of town.
Time is money, friend. Hurry up. Hurry back.
Did you find any of the wormtail? Thank you. This will help keep our guys going out in the field until Moxie returns with the rest of the supplies from the Zeppelin crash.
Glad I could help.
Thank goodness someone's finally taken me Utgard Pinnacle on that offer. I was just thinking that I might need to triple the reward to get that stupid raptor killed, and our budget couldn't afford that.
For real.
Brogue looks at you hopefully. You bring Brogue feathers. Brogue accepts the feathers. Brogue pleased with these feathers. Very strong magic. Brogue not know what raptors do to give feathers power, but raptor feathers always best for ritual. Brogue is glad Mudsprocket goblins have let him stay here, but sometimes thinks he hears them laughing at him. When the dragons came and took over Brogue's old home, Stonemaul ogres fled and left everything behind, including Clan's banner. Brogue knows banner was kept deep in Stonemaul ogre mound, but these days it's called Den of Flame. Brogue must have clan banner to get his revenge on dragons who killed his friends. Brogue's clan's old mound, Den of Flame, is northwest of Mudsprocket and crawling with Dragon Keen. Banner will be deep inside the cave. Be careful, Monzi. Brogue is glad Mudsprocket goblins have let him. Brogue is glad. To make the totem Brogue will need for his ritual, he must use the essences of the creatures who killed his friends. The hate and anger of Brogue's enemies will fuel the magic of his vengeance. Track down Firemane Ashtails, Scouts, or Scalebanes and use Brogue's totem on their corpses. Only when the Dragon Keen die will they give Utgard Pinnacle their essences. The creatures you seek swarm over the Den of Flame to the northwest and the Stonemaul ruins to the north.
I don't think Dratset's going to have any luck finding anyone to...
Brogue is glad Mudsprocket goblins have let him stay here, but sometimes thinks he hears them laughing at him. You bring Stonewall banner? You have Brogue's thanks, Monzi. Brogue has big plans for clan banner. Do you have the essences? Brogue must have them to avenge his friends. You have Brogue's thanks, Monzi. Once Brogue adds their magic to the totem, it will be able to redeem the spirits of Brogue's fallen friends. Brogue has completed the totem that will put the spirits of his friends to rest. When the Dragon King came, they killed all Stonewall who did not flee. Brogue fled with Overlord Mokmaruk, hoping to lead a counterattack with other Stonewall survivors. The counterattack never came and the spirits of the Stonewall dead still haunt Brogue and the others. Take this totem north to Stonewall ruins and use it near ogre skeletons to draw the spirit to you. Defeat the spirit to give it rest with its bones.
Me crush puny friend of dragons. Why you wake ghost? Where other stone walls? You leave Stonewall lands now. Why you wake ghost? Where other stone walls? Me crush puny friend of dragons. Why you wake ghost? Where other stone walls? Me crush puny friend of dragons. Why you wait, ghost? Where other stone walls? Me smash. You die.
Brogue must know, have you brought peace to the violent spirits of the Stone Mall? Brogue thanks you for your help, although he knows Overlord Mokmarek never will. At least surviving Stone Mall can finally focus on problems with the living and leave dead where they belong. Only one thing remains for Brogue to do. Brogue relishes the thought of taking his revenge on the Black Dragon King of the Marsh. Monzi, you have been very helpful in preparing for this moment. Will you help? Take Brogue's clan banner and travel east until you see a cave like a dragon's mouth. At the entrance to that cave, plant Stone Mall banner and issue Brogue's challenge to Onyxia. Brogue and the Stone Mall will have their lands back.
Pitiful mortal, Onyxia answers to no one. Your pathetic challenge has not gone unnoticed. I shall enjoy toying with you before you die.
Brogue will have his revenge. Brogue listens as you recount your experience at the entrance to Onyxia's lair. Brogue no Onyxia dead. Brogue no her brood still there. Brogue not let them forget the stone mall. Brogue is grateful for your help, Monzi, and he will never forget what you have done for him. Brogue will never give Utgard Pinnacle his quest to bring Stone Mall back where they belong.
The situation out here is worse than I thought. The Zeppelin is little better than a heap of twisted metal and burning fuel. Acidic swamp ooze cess. The surface of the begins to bubble. So those hermit mages sent you? How can I be sure that I can trust you? I suppose I can use the help. There's not much here a mage would be interested in, anyway. The situation out here is worse than I thought. The Zeppelin is little better than a heap of twisted metal and burning fuel. Just look at this area. It's swarming with oozes. If I don't find some way to keep them under control, they'll corrode the wreckage and the Zeppelin's cargo. I can't go back empty-handed, warrior. Help me dissolve these oozes before they've digested everything. This device, when powered, will concentrate energy on the slimes, causing them to explode. The Zeppelin's fragmented power core should power the device. The one near the main crash works all the time, but the others flicker on and off. The situation out here, this Zeppelin was carrying 6 months' worth of supplies to us at Mudsprocket. Sure, they've been able to barter for some of what they need, but they won't hold out forever. I've been sent out here to recover what I can of the cargo, but the wreckage is scattered all over the marsh in this area. I'm sure a lot of the cargo didn't survive the crash, but are you willing to help me recover what we can?
Bubbling swan ooze bed. The surface of the begins to bubble.
The situation out here is worse than I thought. The Zeppelin is little better than a heap of twisted metal and burning fuel. Did you make any progress against those oozes? Well, it does look a little cleaner out there. I suppose it's time to get down to the business of salvaging this wreckage. Moxie looks frantic with worry. Did the cargo survive? Did you find any of it? World of Warcraft. You certainly found a lot more than I expected would be out there. I'm not sure how much Drazid thought we were going to find out here, but he's going to have to be happy with this for now. Drazid will expect to hear something from me soon, but I don't think the site is secure enough for me to leave. If you have time, would you be willing to take some of the salvaged cargo down to him at Mudsprocket? If you haven't been there yet, it's a small settlement to the southwest of here, beyond the Stone Mall ruins. You can take the road there from Tabitha's farm, too. When you get to Mudsprocket, the guy you are looking for is Drazid Dripvalve.
So you want to know about sea monsters? Well, I'll make you a deal, but it's going to involve a lot of alcohol and some embarrassment on your part. So you found a copy of Dastardly Denizens of the Deep, did you? Well, I can tell you from experience, it's all true. I've even seen a few of them with my own eyes. But you want to know about Tether? I said I'd make you a deal, so here's what I want you to do. I'm working on a new line of baits, but I haven't tested this one yet. Just take this paste, yeah, it smells a little foul, smear it on yourself, and swim into the deep part of Tide Fury Cove to the southwest. Let me know how it works.
Hello, good day to you.
Remember, the deal is don't come back until something bites you. Not bad at all, but you know, I think I'd get a bath in as soon as possible, if I was you. Now, about your sea monster. Help yourself to a brew or two in the meantime. Yes, Tether is certainly real, and he lives in the waters off Azeroth. Has a thing for bright lights. He's the reason they shut down the lighthouse in the first place, you know. And if you light it at Utgard Pinnacle again, he'll come right back. But no one in their right mind would do that. So that must be your plan. It's been good sharing a drink with you, but don't blame old Nat if Tether really turns you into fish bait. If you're going to do this, make sure you consult Major Mills at the Azeroth docks.
Have a good one. Need help?
The guards of Azeroth are the finest group of Alliance soldiers based in Kalimdor. It is our duty to uphold the laws of the Alliance even so far away from our homes. Have you found evidence from the side of the Shady Rest Inn? Hard mode, I'm no expert with the construction of armory and armor. Their use, yes, but not their making. This shield seems as ordinary as any, excepting the damage from the fire that engulfed the inn. The guards of Azeroth are the finest group of... Have you found anything of interest at the Shady Rest Inn? It's never good news when a guard's badge is brought to me. Sometimes it's a man or woman who's fallen in battle, and I'm left to bring the news to the grieving family. Other times we never find out what happened to them. And other times it's even worse than that. I don't recognize the name of Lieutenant Paval Reith. Your best bet would be to check with Adjutant Dezoran. He keeps track of all the records for the Azeroth Guard, from personnel to their equipment. He should be able to tell you who this Reith is with a quick check of his books. The guards of Azeroth are the hoofprints, It is true that there is an extraordinary amount of centaur activity in the lands near the Dustwallow Marsh. In brief excursions into the Barrens, we found their camps and holdings dotting the area. I'll send out Falgran Hastel, one of our trackers, to see if he can find where the tracks lead. The guards of Azeroth are... I'm sorry I can't be of much help, Monzi, but I can refer you to someone who would be. Kostwo Sprocket, one of our best blacksmiths, works the forge at the smithy. Take the shield to him, and see what he can tell you.
Right away, sir.
Falgren Hastel reporting, sir. I will find where the hoofprints lead and report back to you.
Can I help you?
Hello, Monzi. You'd like information about a specific member of the Azeroth Guard? Reith, was it? Just give me a moment to find the right book. Redden. Redpath. Auction House, here it is. Lieutenant Paval Reith. Joined the Azeroth Guard along with most of the recruits that came across the sea with Lady Proudmoore. Enlisted with the Marines of Kul Tiras at the age of 16. Distinguished service, promotions. Listed as missing.
Greetings.
The guards of Azeroth are the missing. That would be Dezoran's kind way of saying traitor. No doubt he's one of those fools so blindly loyal to Admiral Dalen that he turned traitor. Isn't that a delicious irony? The deserters accuse us of betraying the Alliance. It has been a struggle maintaining a presence in the marsh, but through strength of our resolve, we have been able to maintain several defensive watchtowers throughout the area. The latest information and scouting reports I have received indicate that a group of deserters has squatted in our abandoned tower at Lost Point, southeast of the inn. The local lieutenant seems to be Below's Jackin. See if you can get some information out of him. Be warned, Monzi. He may be a tough nut to crack.
Be careful.
Although Onyxia has been exposed and removed from the court, the Defias who carried out her plan must be punished. Carry word to Grand Admiral Jester Reth in Stormwind Castle that the Defias are the ones who carried out the Varian's kidnapping. I have little doubt that Stormwind's armies will mete out swift and terrible justice to those involved. I can use my magic to expedite your trip to Stormwind. Just speak to me when you are prepared to go, Monzi.
When you're off duty, let's go to the inn. I'll buy a round and we can reminisce about the good old days. Wouldn't you like to bring those days back? I have some friends who know just the way to do that.
Hi, how are you?
With all the siege engines nearly complete, I'm getting a bit bored. Something for me to look at? Hard mode. Interesting piece of iron you have here. Definitely not made by any of the blacksmiths I know over on this side of the sea, and it's certainly not my work. Auction house, I almost missed this. The leather strap on the back must have burned off, but it seems like it was made to fit a large person. I'd guess a Tauren, actually. That's about all I can tell you. Tell Captain Vims I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help.
You have a great day now.
You recount your experiences with Natpugel, carefully omitting the portion about the bait test. Sea monster or no, we're not going to risk the safety of our shipping. I've ordered our best marksmen to prepare for a confrontation with this Tether. The artillerymen have augmented the dock's defenses with 3 mortars. I'm going to order the lighthouse's lamp illuminated. If Tether does attack, it will be your job to operate the mortars and take down the beast before it can kill all of the marksmen. I wouldn't stand in one place too long, though. Using the mortars is likely to draw its attention.
Marksman, form at guard pinnacle and take your positions.
You might want to stand back. Fishgarden is a dirty job.
Prepare to fire upon my command. Ready, aim. Fire at will.
You dance with Tether. We defeated this.
Well done, Monzi. I'll admit, when I caught my first glimpse of that beast, I had doubts about our ability to defend the docks, but you held together the defenders brilliantly.
For the Alliance.
Falgren Haystill reporting, sir.
The guards of the Amore are the finest group of Alliance. That's not much information to work on, but we'll have to keep it in mind. Hopefully some of the other pieces of this mystery will fall into place, and paint a more helpful picture of what happened.
It's good to see you defending Thrymor with pride, friend.
How are you?
Where would you like to fly to?
Talk to me.
Yes. Drazit accepts the cargo from you. I'm so hungry, I could eat a dragon. Thank goodness Moxie finally got some of that cargo down here. We've been reduced to playing dice against the ogre for whatever he's managed to kill on his hunting trips.
Glad I could help.
The Amor deserter says. Attempts to run away in fear. Alright. Alright. We surrender. Just put your weapons down, I'll cooperate.
Did Vim send you? Couldn't do his dirty work himself, could he? Reed. That coward. We threw him out of camp because he insisted on raiding the supplies of the Ogre's Utgard Pinnacle at Brackenwall Village. We're not so many in number that we could stand Utgard Pinnacle to those mindless brutes. He crossed the line one too many times, so we left him to fend for himself. Now, I help you out. So, why don't you help us out and forget you bumped into us? The guards of the Amore are the finest group. I will send Lieutenant Caldwell to deal with the deserters at Lost Point. In addition, I will instruct him to find Wreath. The marsh is not so big and trackless that he should be unable to find him. The guards of the Amore are the finest. I've spoken with Inspector Taram regarding the evidence you gathered from the ruins of the Shady Rest Inn. He seems certain that the hoof prints and the shield you found there point to the Grim Totem clan of Torin. With reports of Grim Totem activity on the rise in the marsh, this has to be more than a mere coincidence. I'm sending you to speak with Captain Darrell, who is something of an expert on the Grim Totems. Follow the road north out of town to North Point Tower. It's the second outpost on the road. Captain Vims thinks the Grim Totems are behind the destruction of the Shady Rest Inn? They wouldn't have been first on my list of suspects, but if Captain Vims sent you here to follow Utgard Pinnacle on a lead, he must have his reasons. Regardless, the Grim Totems have been a thorn in our side for some time and we're always glad to have the extra help. Now that the deserters have taken over Lost Point, North Point Tower is the most distant of Thuramore's outposts. The Grim Totems may be the most warlike of all the Tauren clans, but they're by no means unorganized. If they're the ones who put the torch to the Shady Rest Inn, they'll have had orders from one of their clan elders. There's a large Grim Totem settlement called Blackhoop Village to the northwest. They've been using it as a base to attack the tower, but I'll bet that you'll find the orders you're looking for there. Check the village's elders for traces of the orders you seek. Now that if the equipment you found at the ruins of the inn belonged to a Grim Totem attack party, there's likely to be more just like it within their camp to the northwest. We haven't been able to gather much information about Blackhoop Village, but judging from the size of the raiding parties, there's a substantial force base there. Do whatever you have to capture some of their equipment so that we can compare it with your findings from the inn.
You slap Rathke Stormscale across the face. Ouch. You brush Utgard Pinnacle against Rathke Stormscale and fart loudly. You poke Rathke Stormscale. Hey.
How may I help?
Now that the deserters have taken over Lost Point, North Point, did you get those weapons from Blackhoop Village? Captain Darrell inspects the armaments you brought from Blackhoop Village. There's no doubt about it. These match the description exactly, but there's just one problem: these have never been used in battle. Blackhoop Village must not be the only Grim Totem post in the marsh.
I think I can make it to Bracken Wall on my own. They've got the cargo at the top of the tower. Be careful.
What brings you?
Were you able to find any trace of the orders?
I welcome you to the Amor, Monzi. I apologize for being abrupt and not having a lot of time to exchange pleasantries, but my city must come first. Too many things threaten our way of life and the sanctity of the Alliance. I must stay ever vigilant against forces outside of our control if I'm to ensure my people remain safe and happy. Perhaps we'll have more time to speak later. So it was the Defias who served as the hands of Onyxia in this plot? The Admiral's face grows red with anger and her hands clench into fists. You and Lady Jaina have done Stormwind a great service this day. The traitors will not live long enough to regret their crimes. We must make plans to destroy the remnants of the Defias. Please convey my thanks to Lady Jaina, back in the Amor. She has ever been a loyal friend and steadfast ally. Go to the mage quarter at the western end of the city and speak with Archmage Melon at the foot of the tower there. He will speed your return to the Amor.
Are you ready to fight for the Alliance, warrior?
Are you ready to fight for the Alliance, warrior? The Barenolda Diera is an old heirloom of the Barenolda nobles, the ruling family of Alderac before that kingdom fell to ruin. It is said to have been crafted by master jewelers in Iron Forge, and fitted with the finest of emeralds. When Alderac was destroyed, the Diera was lost, but there are rumors that an ogre mage, Rolborth the Miser, found the Diera and now wanders the ruins of Alderac searching for more treasures. We would have you acquire the Diera for us.
Freshly baked bread for a sale.
Hey there, what can I do?
If you talk to anyone about wine, then you know we Galena sell the best wine in Stormwind. And we're not far, still in the trade district along the city's lovely canals. Here, take this pamphlet.
Have a good one.
Bring it to my sister Susta at our shop for a complimentary bottle of the famous Dalaran Noir. You won't regret it.
Greetings.
Greetings and welcome, madam. Have you yet tried one of our fine wines? Auction house, so you've seen Renato. Well, here you are. A bottle of our special Dalaran Noir. You will not find its equal in all of Azeroth.
Go with honor.
Happy loot.
Best deals in all of Stormwind, my friend. Won't find any better. Now, what can I help you with?
The Alliance.
Stormwind is the pillar of the human race, maintained through strength of will and the edge of a sturdy blade. It's good to see that you received my message. I have something important I wish to discuss with you. From your earliest days, Monzi, your trainers identified you as a natural talent. Your rapid progress and dedication have made you an example. In recognition of your service, King Rin has commissioned the Royal Armorer to forge a special weapon. Legend has it that the cursed Shadow Fang Keep in Silverpine Forest is home to a variety of materials that you will need. Travel there and find a lost Silver Lane family sword, a supply of moonsteel ingots, and sinew from ghouls and geists infesting the keep. Stormwind is the pillar. SI7's latest report about Twilight's Hammer and Dark Iron activity worries me, Monzi. There's evidence that they are preparing a joint attack from within Blackrock Mountain. We'll be hard-pressed to turn back such a combined force, but if we act before they're ready to strike, we might be able to blunt the attack. You must go into Blackrock Depths and capture the Twilight's Hammer attack plans from General Angerforge in the West Garrison. Do not hesitate to take out the elementals supporting his forces.
Have a good one.
Welcome to therapy.
I have no doubt that the Admiral meant every word when she told you the plans to destroy the Defias once and for all. She does not make promises lightly, and the enemies of Stormwind should know it.
All I ever wanted was to
I welcome you to the Amor, Monzi. I apologize for being abrupt and not having a lot of time to exchange pleasantries, but my city must come first. Too many things threaten our way of life and the sanctity of the Alliance. I must stay ever vigilant against forces outside of our control if I'm to ensure my people remain safe and happy. Perhaps we'll have more time to speak later.
It's good to see you defending Thrymor with pride, friend.
Were you able to find any trace of the orders? Captain Darrell glances at the battle plan. I'd say it doesn't get any clearer than this. They've taken it upon themselves to fight back against human settlements in the area, and I have little doubt their Amore is next on their list. I can't spare any men to help search for a second Grim Totem outpost, but I think I know of someone who might be able to help you. Deep in the quagmire, to the south, there is a small farmstead owned by Tabitha. She may seem little more than an old hermit, but the truth is that she's a mage and scryer of some renown. Follow the road south to her farm and seek her help in finding the culprits responsible for the massacre at the Shady Rest Inn.
Step on up.
Home. I wonder.
Safe travels. Light be with you.
So you want me to scry for Grim Totems, eh? And what will you say when I tell you there's no need?
Now.
There's no scrying necessary to see the trouble my new neighbors are creating. And if this is the band that burnt down the Shady Rest Inn, as you claim, there's no reason to tolerate their presence any longer. Take this torch and raise their camp to the ground. You'll find Direhorn just to the north of my farm, near the road. You can't miss it, really, as the Grim Totems have done a splendid job of announcing their presence with those totems they favor.
Light bless you. King's honor, friend.
Have you put that torch to good use? I hope the Grim Totems got the message. Any attempt to return will be met with far worse than a mere torch. My apprentices and I will see to that. Although these Grim Totems were simply a nuisance to me, Captain Vims will want to know of your deeds. Bring him the news that you have tracked down and dealt with those responsible for the burning of the Shady Rest Inn. It's too late to save Jim Hyle's family, but perhaps the Grim Totems will think twice before attacking anyone connected to their Amor.
Safe travels.
Where would you like to fly to? The guards of the Amore are the finest group of Alliance. The captain listens to your report intently. We have avenged James and his family, but not even that can restore what was destroyed. I wish we had a way of letting James Hyle's wife and son know that we have brought their murderers to justice. Captain Vims produces a small wreath decorated with flowers. There are some who say that their spirits will know, even if we cannot reach them. It's not much, but I'd like you to lay this wreath at the Hyle family monument. It's one of the stones in the graveyard just north of Thuramore's gates.
Be careful.
When you're off duty, let's go to the inn. I'll buy a round and we can reminisce about the good old days. James. James. No, you're not James, but I know who you are. You're the one who tracked down the brutes who did this to us. I tried so hard to tell Jim. To tell anyone who was behind this, but I couldn't find a way. Thank you for helping us and for helping Jim. If you see him, tell him little Jimmy and I love him and that we're waiting for him. Mommy, when will we see Daddy again? I don't know when we'll see Daddy again, Jimmy, but I know he loves you and he misses you very much.
You cry.
The guards of their Amore are... Captain Vim smiles slightly as you relate the events you witnessed at the Heil family grave. It's good to know that they understand. You didn't tell them about James, did you? I'll deliver his wife's message to him, but I doubt he'll understand.
You cheer at Captain Garen Vims.
With all the siege engines nearly complete, I'm getting a bit bored.
Safe travels.
Wouldn't you like to bring those days back?
What's on your mind?
Where would you like to fly to?
Keep your seat.
Where would you like to fly to?